Hello Tokusatsu community, and welcome back to my SODO Sunday series here on the Toku Toy Story YouTube channel. This is the series where I cover all of the latest SODO, SHODO, and Uniline figure news from Japan. Now today we have pretty much just SODO news to discuss here, both for Kamen Rider Revice and also for SODO Chronicle Ryuki. So let's go and get right on into it. So first up, we will be focusing on the latest reveals from the SODO Revice line, specifically for figures that we are going to be getting in October's Set 2, or Buy 2 is what the sets are called this year. So we have the next two genomes used by Kamen Rider Revice in the series. First up being the Mammoth genome, based off of the ever so popular Kamen Rider Den-O. So this one looks really good here. I think it captures the look of the Mammoth genome very well. You get a lot of stickers for sure going on this figure, especially on the head and shoulder pads and such. But you're also going to get numerous different versions of his boomerang weapons. So there will be ones that have a peg for them to go onto the back like he typically has them. But you're also going to get special molded hands that have the boomerang molded into the hand for when he's holding them like the little swords like he does. So that's a really cool feature that I'm glad that they took the time and the effort into molding them like that. Now, we have not yet seen Vice's version of the Mammoth genome, and also not the Vice version of the next genome we're going to talk about here. So I don't know what's going on with those yet. Maybe we're going to get some kind of special like double armor box for Vice or something like that. But they did confirm that there's going to be a option or an effect pet, accessory set for Buy 2 here for some of the figures in there, which we'll take a look at here in a second. But we're also going to be getting a brand new redesign to the SODO stands. So they've redesigned the pegs for the hands on the sides of the stands, and they're giving you a lot more pegs for both hands on one side and accessories on the other. So interesting that they went ahead and did that there, just more storage and everything, and I think it's a welcome addition. Moving on to the next figure here, we do have the Pterodactyl genome based off of Kamen Rider Faiz. So he's here as well for Kamen Rider Revice, and this is where that kind of accessory set comes into play here, because the accessory set is going to have an extra chest for you to swap on this figure. You're going to be able to do that kind of look here for Revice Pterodactyl genome. So pretty neat. I think both these figures look pretty nice there, and like I said, we have yet to see the Vice versions for either of these, but I'm sure we will within time. Now let's move on to SODO Chronicle Ryuki. So on the last episode, we did talk about the third and final retail set for SODO Chronicle Ryuki, which is going to be coming out in February of 2022. And with that, we are going to also, of course, have the contract monsters or the advent monster sets for these riders here. So last weekend, we did get the look at the Drag Ranzer set that they are going to be releasing to go along with your brand new Ryuki Survive figure we took a look at last time. And of course, Drag Ranzer looks really good here. He's of course a gigantic figure because he can also transform into the bike version, just like we saw with the Dark Rider for Night Survive a couple of months ago or weeks ago, or whenever we talked about that. So yeah, you are of course going to be able to do that, combine it into the bike and have it posed with Ryuki Survive for the final event for Ryuki Survive, and all that stuff that you would expect Drag Ranzer to be able to do, he will be able to do, although he's costing over 8,000 yen, I think almost 10,000 yen. Very expensive figure, but if you really want it, they are going to be making it here. And then we also have our first of two new Contract Monster double packs, and this one is going to be for Kamen Rider Tiger's Des Wilder, so his Contract Monster here. So this one is going to have, of course, have the Strike Vent Claws for Kamen Rider Tiger, and you're going to have an extra pair to go specifically on Tiger, so you can keep the claws on Des Wilder, so you can do the final vent attack that he does in the series. And as you saw there with the victim of Des Wilder in that picture, we are also going to be getting in this set Psycho Rogue, which is the Advent monster for, not Kamen Rider, because he's not a Kamen Rider, for Alternative. So we are going to be getting Psycho Rogue here. Awesome figure here. These are monsters that don't typically get figures. They were shown off for the figure art line a couple years ago, but then they never released. So these are going to be really cool ones to add onto your SODO collection there. And if you are familiar with Alternative, you would know that he has a ride vent, and also for the final vent attack, Psycho Rogue turns into a bike for Alternative, and there are some peg holes on the chest there because it comes with an entire bike wheel piece for you to plug into the figure and turn it into the bike for your Alternative or Alternative Zero figures from Chronicle Ryuki 3. So really, really cool that you're going to have that ability there as well. And then this current weekend, they did just reveal 2 more monster sets to go along with SODO Chronicle Ryuki 3. First of them being the Gold Phoenix and the Gigazel set. So these are for Comrade Odin and Comrade Imperior, of course. So Gold Phoenix is going to give you the guard vent and the sword vent for Comrade Odin. So, you know, everything you would want him to have from Gold Phoenix there. You're also going to get his big staff, you know, weapon thing, you know, that he puts the cards into. But you're going to get it this time with the wings folded open. And then you're also going to get it with the wings folded open with the Survive cards in there, which we only ever saw in the 3rd part of the Rider Time Ryuki special during Geo. But it was always something that he was like shown to be able to do, and he never did it on screen until then. And then obviously if you use Gold Phoenix, you can recreate his final vent, which we also only saw in that special and in Comrade Dragon Knight here in the US over a decade ago. So you're going to get that for Odin, and then you're also going to get Gigazel for Comrade Imperior. But if you know anything about Comrade Imperior, while Gigazel is his primary contract monster, that's where he gets the horned strike vent from, he can kind of control a whole herd of the Gigazel type advent monsters, or the species of that monster. Especially for his final event, which is just an attack where a whole stampede of the different Gigazel types run over his opponent. And SODO is going to recreate that with this. You're going to get all of the different Gigazel types, so the Megazel, the Omegazel, the Negative Zel, all of them. You're going to get all of them here in a special set of these 4 additional Gigazels if you really want to buy that. So basically, this makes sense. You're going to get the main Gigazel to go with Imperior in that Advent Monster set with Gold Phoenix. Then you're going to get this Imperior add-on set that you can buy to recreate his final event, or if you want to really, really create his final event, you can buy multiples of that set and have the whole stampede as they show off in this amazing picture right here. So this is a really cool way to do this. Obviously a very expensive way to do this because every single Advent monster here is a premium Bandai release, so very costly, but still really cool. Well, that is going to do it for this week's episode of SODO Sundays. Of course, thank you all for watching as always. You can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR, and you can check out a bunch of other Tokusatsu related content around the internet on YouTube here, either at the Toku Topics YouTube channel or the Geeky Tweak channel as well. And until next time, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Tokusatsu forever.